Welcome to Insights into Insurance from the A-Team at Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.
It's a Saturday morning. That means it's time for our Insights into Insurance program on this Labor Day weekend on 1450 KATE. Mike Whitus along with Tom Sorensen from Americana Insurance. And Tom, a good morning to you.
Hey, good morning, Mike.
You know, last week, a very good topic that we talked about, and that we had Pathian Computers on. And I know
John Stegman, yep.
That John, you have them as well. And we just found out earlier this week that the city of Albert Lea actually ran into an issue with the phishing email that jeopardized over 300 employees. So very timely. Again, we didn't know about this when we were doing the show last week, but this is why Americana Insurance is in the forefront of trying to be proactive, not reactive, on these types of issues. And John hit it right on the nose. It's not going to be inexpensive, and a lot of folks around Albert Lea are a little nervous on this.
Right, and John, if you remember, he said it's not if it's going to happen to you, it's when will it happen to you. And that's why, again, we had no idea that this has happened to the city, and we still don't really know exactly what it was or how it happened, but it sounded like it was a phishing email situation, which it's a serious thing, okay? It's very serious. And so that's why I did the show last week with and we had John as our Pantheon Computers as our guest. And example, like we had Americana Insurance Agency, we subscribe with Pantheon, and we actually do our own training. So every month, the last few months or so, we actually do it's a training where we actually go through slides, and then we have to take a test. And then after we do that, after they give us a certification of doing that, then they end up actually testing us out by sending us phishing emails and that. So, and if one of my employees gets one, I get notified. Okay, or it goes into one and does it. Yeah, knock on wood, I haven't had that happen yet, but that's good. But they are testing it.
And as John said last week on our Insights into Insurance program with Pathian Computers, it's not when, it's going to happen. And for folks, not only business folks, but take it upon yourselves as individuals, because we all have smartphones, we all have emails, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, social media. They can somehow, these third parties, they're not dummies, they're hackers, and they're gonna eventually catch up with you.
And actually, our individual cyber protection is actually, some of our companies are even broadening out the coverage, which is good. So that's another thing that you might want to look at. Is I just got one of our companies that I was reading up on the rules yesterday on their and they offer $25,000 on a very broad basis of cyber attacks, which I thought, wow, this is great. So hopefully everybody else does that too, other companies. So
look into your insurance policy, and of course, give Americana Insurance a call if you have questions about cyber attacks and you want to be proactive, not reactive on this. Tom and the professionals down at Americana Insurance, they can help you out. We thought we'd just touch on that on this Saturday, Labor Day weekend, and of course, now I get to maybe put on my dunce hat, as they say, Tom. I
love this type of show.
I didn't know about it until you walk in and say, it's quiz time.
Pop quiz time.
So here's how it works, folks. If you're just joining us, I'll read the question, and then Tom's going to be reading the potential answers. And trust me, folks, I didn't know this ahead of time, so I'll do my best and try to answer it. And then Tom will kind of explain why the answer what it is.
It's been a month and a half, I checked, since we've done one, and I was going to try to do it every month, but sometimes we have other topics to do, so it's been a month and a half, Mike, since you've been tested.
Okay, here we go. So it's time for quiz, and we'll jump right into it. And Tom, I'll read the question. You're going to give me the potential answers, so here we go. Which of the following is a type of insurance fraud?
And the potential answers are A, premium fraud, B, claims fraud, C, insurance fraud on the insurer, or D, all of the above.
I would say all of the above.
There you go, Mike. Good job. Yes. And somebody's probably going to say premium fraud. What is premium fraud? Actually, that comes with like your work comp and commercial, where that's on an auditing basis. The premiums are based on your payroll and things
Your
like that.
Your history on work comp.
Yep. And then let's say you're a auto mechanic shop and you're listing one of your auto mechanics as someone that's working behind the desk. Okay, that's fraud. Okay, that's not telling the truth, and so that's another type of thing. So that's what they call premium fraud, and then claims fraud. And guess what? There can be insurance fraud on the insurer. Okay, the insurer who is insuring you could be potentially a fraud too. So hopefully that's not the case, but it has happened in the past.
All right, so you want to be upfront, you want to be honest to the insurance company you're dealing with, and make sure you lay everything out on the table so they're well aware of what they're actually insuring for you. Next question, which of the following is not an example of a governmental insurance program?
And the potential answers are A, Social Security, B, crop insurance, C, flood insurance, D, fire insurance.
I'm going to go with D again with fire insurance because I think Social Security obviously is governmental, crop and governmental, flood insurance. So I'm going to go with D, fire insurance.
Man, you are hot today.
2 for 2.
Yeah. Yep. All the Social Security, crop insurance, flood insurance is an example of a governmental insurance program. Fire insurance is not. That's just buying it through your independent agent as through a company, okay, where the other ones are either enforced, done through the government, or they are administered and taken care of by the government or overseen by the government.
And as we're talking about this different examples of governmental insurance, Tom, again, we put the puzzle pieces together when you're visiting with your insurance agent. That's why we're doing these type pop quiz questions so folks can understand.
Right.
And if you're not writing down everything on the correct answer, you can always give Americana Insurance a call, and they'll walk you through the process.
So out of those 3 government programs, Social Security, I don't sell Social Security. Okay, we do Medicare supplements, okay, but I don't do Social Security. But we do sell crop insurance, and we do sell flood insurance, which is sold and administered through a crop insurance company or a flood insurance company, but it is overseen by the government and supplemented by the government dollars.
I know we had lots of rain earlier this week, and for those poor folks over in the La Crosse, Wisconsin area, I know those areas were really hit hard with rain, and up to 10 inches of rain, areas were flooded. That's something you have to look at as a homeowner, even as a business owner, that, I got a little water in my basement or a little water in my business. You want to think ahead because you have to have that in place. Correct me if I'm wrong, Tom. You have to have that in place before the actual event happens.
They won't, at least 30 days usually, okay, and it's the strange thing is everybody doesn't, that especially around here, doesn't think they need flood insurance, and I could be corrected on this, but I think I'm going to be close. But I believe that 75% of the flood claims or flood issues comes where they're not in a floodplain. Okay, so interesting statistics. It's so it can happen to you.
And another one, it kind of brings up the flooding, but I'll throw this out there. We've talked about it before, and that's your sub pump in your home.
Yep.
You better make sure that you've got that covered as well.
Now, that's a different coverage. That's where water sewer backup is what we call it usually. And yes, there's a limit. Well, the regular policy does not come with that coverage. You have to endorse that policy, and there's different limits. Most of my companies are anywhere from $1,000 to $25,000 that you can add for coverage on that.
So take a look at your homeowner's policy, because folks, you have a home and you think, I've got everything covered, all the insurance, and then all of a sudden the sub pump stops working and floods out the basement while you're at work, and you call the insurance agent and say, well, my sub pump quit, my basement's flooded. You're not going to probably be covered.
Yeah, that's not a fun one to tell somebody that they're not covered.
We're continuing with our pop quiz here on 1450, our Insights into Insurance program with Tom from Americana Insurance. Let's go into the next one, Tom, and we'll see if I can keep my perfect record going here.
Absolutely.
Insurance companies look at an insured's hazards in determining eligibility and pricing of the risk. Which of the following is a type of hazard in this context?
Okay, the potential answers are A, physical hazards, B, moral hazards, C, morale hazards, or D, all of the above.
I'm going to say A because the other ones don't seem correct.
Okay, well, I finally get to go.
Oh!
It's actually D, all above again. Physical hazard would be basically anything that could have happen where physically could cause a loss. Okay, example, you could have a let's say a fire pit 5 feet away from your house. Okay, that's a physical hazard. Okay, moral hazard is something. Example would be like insuring a house for $400,000, but they just bought it for like 50.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
That could be
okay.
a moral hazard. Of all of a sudden, boy, that match could. Maybe that guy that had the fire pit neck 5 feet away from the house, maybe that's the reason. Anyway, morale hazard could be, I mean, there could be a lot of different things, but example on your auto insurance, if you got a DWI, right? They price for it, okay, because you got a DWI. They would look at it as maybe your lifestyle, we need to charge you more, or we don't want your business, okay? That would be the different ones there. So, okay.
All right. Well, I'm 2 for 3. I got 2 right, 1 wrong, and we'll continue here with our pop quiz with our Insights into Insurance program here. We'll take a quick break, Tom. When we come back, we've got a couple more you'll try to stump me with on our Insights into Insurance program here on Kate 1450.
You got a side that wants more space, 'cause every day starts like a race. You got a side that loves that style, but to fit in those shoes gonna take a while. Today life's got you running, tomorrow big things are coming. Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
To learn more about how Nationwide can help protect your many sides, call Americana Insurance Group in Albert Lea and Wells.
Welcome back to our Insights into Insurance program here on KATE. Mike White is your host, along with Tom from Americana Insurance. And Tom, we've got time for another pop quiz question, and I've answered 2 correctly, 1 wrong, so let's go to another one here. And that says, your insured's son has moved to a dorm on the college campus and wants to make sure there's liability insurance in place for him. On a standard homeowner's form, which of the following is a requirement for coverage?
All right. So the potential answers are, Mike, the son must be a full-time student as defined by the school they are attending. B, the son must be a resident of the household before moving out to attend school. C, the son must be under the age of 24. Or D, all of the above.
As a father of 2 sons that went to college, I'm going to take D, all of the above.
Man, you are on a roll today. You are correct. D is all above, yes. So just to reiterate, the son must be a full-time student defined by the school. So let's just say that school says full-time is 12 credits or more. That would be eligible. Then he has to be a resident of the household before moving out to attend school. So okay, let's take divorced parents, okay?
Right.
Let's just say all of a sudden, let's say they have one of the ex-spouses doesn't have insurance, okay? The one does. But the son, let's say, was living with the spouse that didn't have insurance before, okay? Well, there isn't going to be any coverage there because he wasn't living in the spouse that had the
insurance.
Right, the parent with the insurance. And then obviously the third one is he or she must be under 24.
So as college gets underway for a lot of folks this next week,
right,
keep that in mind.
Yep. And we get a lot of phone calls about that time of year. So that's one of the reasons why I put it in there this week.
Perfect timing.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
Yep.
And, of course, if they have questions, they can always email Tom, Americana Insurance.
Yes. It's at insights@americanainsurance.com. And then they can also go to our website at www.americanainsurance.com. And then our phone number is 507-377-2000. And please look at us or like us on Facebook. Well, you can look and like, and we have a lot of this different information on Facebook, or we have giveaways, things like that, Mike.
All right, so make sure you like Americana Insurance on Facebook, out on social media. And, of course, also, if you missed the program last week, we touched on it at the opening about the phishing emails. This is not where you go and take a fishing rod. This is where someone on the third-party side of things is trying to hack into your account, and it can be devastating. So let's be proactive versus reactive, and Americana Insurance can help you out with that at 377-2000.
And before we end here today, Mike, I just want to give my condolences and sympathy to a very good client of mine, but you know what? He was more than just a client to me. He was a very good friend, and his name was John Houston. John lived over by Wells. He was a farmer, plus he was a tree trimming. He owned his own tree trimming business, Lumberjack Tree Service, and he has 3 boys and a daughter, and I just want to give him my sympathy. He also has a wife. They're going to have a tough time, and I just appreciated this guy so much. I know that anybody else that would know John would understand, and I feel horrible about it was a freak motorcycle accident on Saturday night. It was kind of weird. I thought it was a misspelling that he was over. John Houston was in Houston County, and that's where he had the accident.
So our sympathies to the Houston family, and blessings to you, Tom, and Americana Insurance. We wish that family and nothing but goodwill as they move forward during this tragedy.
Yes.
That'll conclude this Saturday edition of Insights into Insurance. Tom, enjoy the rest of the Labor Day weekend, and we'll see you next Saturday.
You too, Mike. Take care.
That's Tom with Americana Insurance. I'm Mike Whitus. That'll wrap up our program here today on KATE.
You've been listening to Insights into Insurance from the Americana Insurance Group. All information provided is educational in nature and not intended to be acted upon without first consulting the appropriately licensed professional.